Good evening. All right. What year is it? Oh, good. It's 2000. Phantom Menace on VHS. Jar Jar Binks, y'all. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Yeah. Sing it with me. Let me hear you. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. Oh, all right. Not bad. Give it up for your host, Mark Hornback, the well Hungarian. Well, all right. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. I'm gonna see you at the fun. What? Wash your jeans, bring your notebook, bring your jokes. We got a microphone at the phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Is this thing off? Oh, you're laughing at me. Still counts. Phone simulation, yeah. Phone simulation 2000. I can't hear you. I can't hear you in the mic.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Welcome to Fun Simulation 2000 Open Mic. Our dancer this week is Josh DiDonato. He nominated himself. He kept the energy up. I'd like to point out that Ian Ryland Smith is too old to dance now, everybody.
I'm abdicating. I'm abdicating the throne.
Dancing.
I've served my 1-year term.
You'll see
I now hand it off to
later as I mute Ian so we can get this thing rolling. He's giving a speech, and I'm just like, I'll start deducting from your set time. I'll just start doing that if this goes on too long. No, I'm just trying to run a tight ship because we started late. I want to point out that's one of the things with this mic is I take it very serious with our start time. I'm always on time. I opened the room at 8:00 on the dot, like I didn't say I would. And then right before we started, I went to use the restroom, and then I started doing a chore. I forgot that I was hosting the mic. There was people in the room. I started taking apart boxes in my front room. And then I was like, oh, wait. And then I heard voices in the background, and it was the comedians waiting for me to start the mic. So this is how bad it's gotten with virtual mics. We take things serious. We're going to be doing this online, but as it gets warm out, I might take this outdoors, still on Zoom, just me outside. How about that?
Oh,
that
yeah.
work a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
I might even go to Reed's and sit outside in front on my laptop, not even in their patio, just out front on my laptop, and then we can. Then it's not as virtual. Then it's kind of like a real mic. Basically a real mic. Oh man, no, this is going to be a really weird night. I'm in a weird mood. I stopped vaping this week. How about that? I stopped vaping because I'm in my 30s and that was just sad. Like, and I was, Ron's giving a thumbs down for that. Let's put a spotlight on Ron real quick. Ron, are you still vaping?
I'm vaping weed as we speak, and it's fantastic.
Ron's going on mute. It just mute up for no reason. No, that and I'd like to point out we are streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So my aunt and uncle and my mom are the three people that watch every week. Say hi to them in the suburbs of Chicago and northern Wisconsin, almost across the globe, almost across the country. Just 2 neighboring states. That's the only people that watch us. We're not broadcasting on Twitch tonight because we are protesting something about Amazon being a bad company. Yeah. I'll say I very soon not going to be working there anymore myself. Surprised that's where I've been working for the past few months, and I'm not going to be moving to Seattle for the job either. So guess what? Staying in Chicagoland area for now. And also protesting Amazon. And then should I just say that I'm quitting out of protest? Should I just say that? Like, does that earn me more points with anyone? No.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. The timing just happened to work out that way. All right, we're gonna get this started. I don't know what the fuck I'm ranting about anymore. I wrote things down, but I've already talked too much about things I didn't write down and want to work on, which just makes this go badly. Our next comedian will save it. He's your savior. He's all of our saviors. Trevor Gertensen.
No pressure. I'm wearing makeup. It's not a big deal. A lot of people sometimes they'll refer to me as a goth, and they have a lot of questions about it. But it's really kind of the same thing as anyone else. It's all basically the same. Like, you might like Taylor Swift. I like Nine Inch Nails. You like to watch La La Land. I like The Crow. You like to have a glass of wine with dinner. I have to hunt people down and suck their blood for sustenance. It's basically exactly the same. Right now, it's always interesting how relationships kind of work. And right now I'm in a relationship, but I've been single quite a bit. And whenever I'm single, people always say the same thing. They always kind of they'll always ask me, I get this numerous times, like, well, you're single. Like, what are you going to do if you die? Like, who's going to find your body? I was like, well, is that why you're in a relationship? Like, that's terrible, right? Like, if I die, I don't want to be found by someone I love. Like, I want to be found in the woods by a bunch of teenagers with a stick. Like, that's how God intended. I was with one of my friends. We went to a magic shop because he was buying an introduction to magic book for his daughter. And we get to the counter and he's buying this intro to magic book. And the guy at the counter was like, hey, just so you know, this was written a while ago, so there might be some things in there that might not quite hold up to today's standards. And I was like, what happened in your life that just the sheer idea of introducing magic brings out hate speech? Like, yeah, anyone can pull a rabbit out of the hat unless you're a woman. It pretty much, like, the book, like, after kind of flipping through it should have been called No Girls Allowed, An Introduction to Magic. It was... And the worst part is, it wasn't like the first edition. Like, there's been a numerous publisher that has read this and been like, you know what, the math checks out. We're going to keep it as is. It's 2021. I do like true crime. I've listened to a lot of the podcasts, and they had this one that was talking about how all serial killers have a common characteristic. And they said the most common characteristic among serial killers was that they had substance abuse problems, which I thought was interesting because I thought the most common characteristic was that they were murderers. Right? And they always bring up the shallow grave thing, though, which I do like because it's one thing that makes them relatable, because I can't relate to murder. I think murder is a horrible thing, but you know what I can relate to? Not wanting to finish digging a hole. One thing they never bring up on these things, though, is like, what happens if, like, a killer gets into your house and you're under house arrest? Right? Because they're chasing you through your home. You get to that front door and you're like, oh, shit. The law is the law. You're taken at that point. I actually got in my apartment late a few weeks ago, and there was a centipede running across the wall, which was unsettling. And I started doing research about centipedes, and I saw a bunch of like Reddit posts, and they're like, if you see a centipede in your home, don't kill it because they eat all the spiders. Yeah. Where the fuck do you live that you have all these spiders? Like, do you live in the attic of a haunted house? Your home, this is not Fear Factor. You can buy some bug spray. All right. All right, I'll leave you guys with this. It's kind of fun. I was actually in Indiana recently doing some gigs, and I heard someone sneeze outside the venue, and out of habit, I said, bless you. And this person turned to me and said, hey, I am an atheist. And unless you can excuse someone without pointing out their religion or lack thereof, I would suggest you don't say anything at all. I said, Jesus. All right, thank you.
Indiana.
Yeah, Trevor Gertensen. I think I want to know if like one of the tricks in the book is just like, now the secret to this trick is your penis and having a penis. Or else you're gonna need some help. You're gonna need someone else to hold this or whatever.
Look, you can't pull a coin out from behind someone's ear unless you got like a dick between your legs, right? So
I think that he could not say that murder was a serious thing without laughing. That was very strange. We're gonna keep going. Our next comic, please welcome from Portland, Patty Mansbach.
Thank you.
Just meet her, the host, I think. Nope,
Okay.
nope.
Well, I've been told that I change my mind as often as I change my underwear, which is never, because I am a ride or die loyal bitch and I'm constantly battling urinary tract infections. It's a chronic issue in my life. But I'll never leave you. I don't know what to do. I have HBO Max now for a week. What should I watch? Like, no, I'm not Game of Thrones because I don't like the space stuff. But like, is there anything else I should watch? Because I don't know. Please just give me suggestions. Just chat me. I've been watching like real sports. I've gotten hella into sports documentaries now. There is a segment on Real Sports about why participation trophies are ruining our children, because I guess journalists don't like joy. That's something that I've learned. Yeah. We've been in this Pangea for like a year now. Give me my goddamn participation trophy, okay? Is that too much to ask for? I was on my way to work because like they just let me get COVID. And I was waiting for the bus. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. You're young, you're healthy, you can come in, right? I was waiting for the bus and this naked woman, she ran up to me and then she slapped me in the face. I know. Some people have to pay for it. I got it for free. I don't know why I got so lucky, but I guess I did. Except now, I have my new self-defense keychain, and look, it's a cat. Isn't it so goddamn adorable? He's like stab, but like sparkly and purple. This is not legal in Oregon. I don't think I should actually be carrying this. Yeah, it's just I had a good look online. I was like, wait, I don't think I can have that. But they did decriminalize all the drugs in Oregon, and that's like super, super cool. So now if you do drugs and you get caught, you just get like $100 ticket. Do you know how much a speeding ticket costs in Oregon? $270. Look, I got another one. Look how happy I am. I'm just smiling away, just like zoom, 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 zoom. Man, I should have done math, man. It would have been cheaper. $270. Clearly the police don't like joy either. What this is all, it is a slippery slope into prop comedy, guys. My dad, he just got his second round of the vaccine, and it's good. I'm happy they're vaccinating my dad, but also he is convinced the restaurant Chipotle is pronounced Chiptoli, and we can't convince him otherwise. He thinks it's a Mandela effect. Yeah, no, really, that's what you want to vaccinate. That's the ones that you're saving. Don't they have teachers? Don't they have grocery store workers? No, just go vaccinate the guy who calls a Swiffer a Swifter. I don't know. Let's see. The celibacy virus is killing me, but I had that pre-pandemic because I'm unpleasant. But I want to go on a Zoom date. Has anybody been on a Zoom date? That sounds awful, but also kind of fun at the same time. I'm gonna try to figure out how to do a Zoom date. But I've never actually been on a bad date. That's because if I have a nice time, that's all that really matters. I know, it's want to hear about my conspiracy theories? Don't worry, just the fun ones, not the crazy ones. My favorite thing I used to do when I used to go on dates to try to shock them, this is what I would say. I would tell them I've never seen a Quentin Tarantino movie. Whoa, they got so mad at me. They were just offended. It was crazy. I don't really know who Quentin Tarantino is. I think he did Batman or something, right? I don't know. My favorite Batman character is the Seal, Kiss from a Rose song. That is my favorite Batman character. All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Patty Mansbach. Patty, you should have just done meth and ran to wherever the hell you were going. Full speed sprint, no red light tickets for you. I don't understand how that would be. You could open carry guns in your state. and then
I
a
think
little.
it's because I can't conceal it because if I like carry, this is just me being neurotic, but like I think if I like have it out and just like flailing it, that's okay. But if I have it like in
Yeah,
my pocket, it's like
old school
concealed.
medieval thing where you have to like show your weapons. Like you could have weapons, but everyone has to see them.
Mhm.
I don't understand it. It's very strange. We'll figure it out someday. Our next meeting coming up. Amy Nico Schwartz.
Hey, so we were talking about earlier how I was kicked out of my apartment. So I'm like, why not talk about that again? Yeah, so like in the middle of the beginning of the pandemic, I was kicked out of my apartment by my landlord, and it was pretty insane, pretty ridiculous. I was kind of like first of all, like who calls himself Lord, in the current century? Like, come on, like, oh my Lord, like, nah, not happening. And then they like acted like they were like mom and pop, like real nice, landlords. But like, I don't think like family owned means you're a nice business, because you could just be like a mom and son and like just a whole family of pieces of shit, like it doesn't impress me. Your family owned, like it sounds terrible actually. Like I got a family, I know how things go, not so perfectly. But yeah, so I had to move in, so I was staying with my girlfriend, who hadn't been going out that long, temporarily for the pandemic. And then I got kicked out. And so it was like, I couldn't just be like, oh yeah, I'm just staying here. Like I didn't have an apartment to go back to. It was like, I was like, oh no, I don't live here. I don't have a place to go now. And then I started being like, oh, okay, shit. And then I started getting ads on social media for like these cute little ads, like when the ads know what you're thinking before anyone else, like your friends or family. Like I was getting ads that were like, here's the perfect coffee table for living in your car when your girlfriend dumps you. And there's like, here, and I'd wake up in the morning and be like, here's the perfect recliner for living in your car. Like, why is there inflatable car furniture? And how do they know? I'm terrified of this before anyone else. It was horrifying. And then, that went well. I didn't get kicked out. I got a new place. But then recently I started getting ads that were like, are you a queer cancer survivor? Fill out this survey then. And I was like, oh my God, I have cancer. Like they know it first. Like I know it's in my family. Goddamn. I'm gonna go figure out what kind, So that's been a lot of fun. Love those targeted ads that know everything. That's great. Yeah, I feel like I have to come out a lot, which is fun because people are always like, they're always like, you? What? Bi? No, I don't think so. You weren't married to a man. Like, no. So that's good times. Yeah, for a while I was like married to a man. It was terrible, And then I decided, you know what? I was being too lazy, Like I was like, anytime I would see like a woman who seemed nice, I'd be like, it seems like a lot of work, And then I got married, and you know what? That's way more work. You do all the work. All right, I'll stop talking about that. I'm glad I'm out of that. I would have murdered him. Speaking of the serial killer thing, it would have been fair. All right, I'll end on this. I was talking to my dad the other day, and he said, Obama is trying to take my money. And I was like, Obama? Like what? How is he getting in there? Do you mean Biden? And he goes, yeah, white Obama. And so I think that's progress, white Obama. I don't know. All right, that's my time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Amy Nico Schwartz. White Obama. That should have been the bumper sticker. It's just white Obama. I might put one on my card and just put it on. Thank you, and I'll give you all the credit for it if anyone asks, or your dad. I'm sorry, I never thought of it. I just realized that I did not go over any of the housekeeping at the top of the mic. Everybody gets 4 minutes. I'll light you when you have 1 minute left by messaging you directly, or if you want a different method, I could pop on the screen, like do like a spotlight or whatever. So let me know if you don't want the message. If you're on your phone, I know that could be difficult. And also stay till the end. I go through the list of everyone who's still here, and we do the fastest minute in comedy. We've been doing that for years. It's a stupid fun time, but I'll keep going. We'll get this back on track. Our next meeting, Johnny Drama.
Woo.
Hey yo, how's everybody doing? Huh?
Hey.
Let's get it back to gallery. I want to see all you. There we are. God bless you all. So I was watching some old movies lately. I watched Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire version, of course. There's that classic line by Uncle Ben: with great power comes great responsibility. It must have been some epic rice. Here's the thing. I'm never gonna do that joke again. Here's the thing about Uncle Ben's rice. I'm not upset at the company that they want to rebrand because of the racial stereotypes, that kind of thing. They did the same thing with Aunt Jemima. Truth be told, I always thought up until I think like 2 days ago that Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben were just a very successful married couple. And they had like a food conglomerate, like rice and maple syrup. I thought that was a thing. Apparently it's not. Very, very separate people. But I'm not upset that they're rebranding. I'm a little pissed off at Uncle Ben because of the portions. 1 cup of Uncle Ben's rice is supposed to serve 6 people. I don't know where Uncle Ben grew up, but 1 cup of rice is maybe 1 plate. It just reminds me, if I had an actual Uncle Ben as my uncle, I would hate him. I just picture my mom calling me down for dinner. All right, Jonathan, we're going to your Uncle Ben's for dinner tonight. Great. I'm going to pack my own lunch kit full of food because he's not going to serve me anything. You're just sitting at the table. Thanks to those 2 grains of rice, Uncle Ben. Tasted great. Maybe chopsticks next time, so it would take longer. Pre-COVID, I went to my lady. I went to her parents' place. It was like a big family get-together, so she was there. Her mom, her dad, her sister, her brother, then, I don't know, one other relative. And so they're serving up dinner, and I like to eat quickly. I'm a hungry young fellow. And so I crushed the first plate as everybody else is still finishing up the corn, the starter. And it's a classic thing. Your plate's getting near empty, and then I'm asked, oh, Jonathan, would you like the second plate? And you don't want to be, rude and say yes right away and admit that, you just love grub, but you have to do it. But right as I'm finishing the last piece of mashed potato, I feel something lump deep down in my innards. And that's when you know something's going to happen. So I excuse myself. I go to look for the restroom. And of course, the bathroom closest to me is like right across from the dinner table. And knowing what's going to happen, I don't want this to happen. But I'm new to the place and you can't really ask them if there's like a second bathroom farther away because of the damage you're going to do to their toilet. So go in there. The first thing you do is you hit the light. The second thing, you hit the fan to cover up the noise. There's no fan here, so I'm screwed. So what I like to do, my little trick, is that I turn on the water faucets because for some reason they're just going to think you've been washing your hands for half an hour instead of destroying the plumbing. So I do that. I'm sitting down. Everything's complete. I'm laughing. And then I realize there's no toilet paper on the roll. And this is not a good thing. So I stand up, and even though I'm finished, I do the clench thing, because even though you're done, sometimes you think it's still going to kind of spill out of you. So I clench and I look at the linen closet, and there's nothing there. But then lo and behold, I look back because I also want to see what kind of damage I've done to the toilet. Was this the phantom poop where it just goes straight through? Was this the Niagara Falls kind of situation where it's all over the map? I don't know. But I see a piece of toilet paper hanging on the top of the toilet, and I say, let's go back. I back up, I sit down. I grab this, and I realize the reason it's not on the toilet paper roll is because it's like the triple ply type. It's just too thick. And you put it on the roll, you try to tear off a bunch of pieces, it just rips like confetti right away. So I do that, and this whole thing's like a towel. So you're good to go. And I realize they don't have a hand towel there. That's no problem. I'll just use the triple ply. Just do that, wipe off the hands. Flush the business, all good to go. I go back outside, sit at the table. And then I realize they say, oh, now it's time for dessert. Our Uncle Ben here made Rice Krispie squares. And I jumped over the table, and I've never been invited back since. I'll finish with one story. And this was, I just miss going over to people's places, man. Just hanging out and doing whatever you want to do. My wife has like pre-existing conditions, so we have to be super careful. So I can't like go over anywhere just in case. But before it was fun because we didn't care about hygiene as much. And so I went over, and this is a big bash. And by big bash, I mean there's me and 2 other people. It's a type of thing where like you're with your friends till 4 a.m, and it gets so loud that the cops come on a noise complaint. But then as soon as they open the door, they're disappointed because there's only 3 people there. They're like, oh, just keep it down. And so I decided to do what's called the strikeout. For those of you uninitiated, the strikeout is when you take a hit off the bong, you chug a beer, you take a shot, then you exhale the smoke. No problem for me. It was. I was immediately TKO'd. I go crawl to the bathroom. And as I'm in the toilet, I hear a bunch of people start to leave. The party's winding down. So, 2 people left. And it's time for Johnny to call a cab. So I call a cab. The cab driver gets there. I stumble out into the back seat. He says, "Where to, my friend?" And I say, "I'm going to 221 Merton Street." He says, 221 Merton Street. I don't know if that's possible. I said, "What do you mean, 221 Merton? What's the problem?" He says, "Sir, are you aware that this is 221 Merton Street?" I got so messed up that I called the cab from my house.
Thank you, Johnny. I gotta cut you off. You were going pretty over on time there. Sorry, you were at time when you started the second story, though. Thank you. And you get another minute at the end of the mic too, if you want to save a story till then. You can stick around the whole time, but I just had to cut you off and keep it going, keep it real for our next comic, who I'm very excited. She's a real Queen City piece of work, Laura.
It's piece of shit. Get it right. No, you don't want to don't diminish my title. I'm so rarely given one, except by you and that angry man who happened to know I was from Cincinnati. So I'm sober. I don't drink anymore. And, drinking was really what I was into, just that was really my liquid foundation. It's not just for cover girls, and it's good I don't drink because, I work around a lot of comics. You guys are all younger. And when I drink, I don't turn into a cougar. I turn into like a booger, just something slimy that you can't get off your hand. So, but, drugs weren't my thing. I've done some drugs, but I wouldn't call myself a drug addict or anything. Like I did have to see a counselor. So when I got sober, talking about my drug use, and she's like, "Well, tell me about it." I'm like, again, a drinker. Yes. But I did like a little puff of weed here and there, which I think is like almost a kiddie drug, like not a big deal, right? Just something you experiment, and then I also, from the same, I did try mushrooms and when I was in high school, but those are natural. So I didn't think that's a big deal. And also vegetables, always the recommendation is always get more vegetables. So, and then, that was pretty much it. Well, except for I remember then I did try peyote only once. It was quite an experience, but it was a gift from a friend's brother. And also that comes in buttons and I like fashion. So I'm like, I probably would have gone into fashion design had I not gone into nothing, so I didn't, again, I don't think that's a big deal, and I also did LSD. I did acid, I did acid on just a couple weekends throughout my 10th and both 11th grade years, so but I just experimenting, you're just a kid. And I also, I guess, I did inhale this stuff called Rush. And I don't know if they have it now, but in high school, we'd inhale this stuff called Rush. It's government name, it's Christian name, if you will, is amyl nitrate. But if you inhale it, you get a rush, and then you have a migraine for 2 hours. And but if you inhale it in a gay bar, it's called poppers. Maybe you know it by that. Ask for Video Head Cleaner. That should tell you the era that I'm talking about. And then also, I did also for a brief period of time, I did eat prescription diet pills that I got from my fat friend. That's what we used to call our fat friends. We used to call them fat, which is why they're still fat and not our friends anymore. Also, I ate all the diet pills, but also did this stuff in a pinch. I would eat these things called White Crosses. They were like caffeine pills, I think, and they made your nipples burn, but I kept eating them anyway, just hoping for a different result. So I think that, but that's over the counter. Anybody could Well, then I realized that I also would hit the nitrous tank on occasion. But look, I just want you to know that at that time, thank you, the dead was still alive, and I needed a miracle, you know. And then also I snorted crank. Okay, and I did that in a biker's bathtub. I didn't want to offend my mom's new boyfriend, so I felt like I had to. That was polite. And if you inhale that in a gay bar, it's called crystal meth. And I didn't want to offend my mom's new hairdresser, you know. I also huffed aerosol deodorant for a brief period of time, which is a way better high than the roll-on. But that's not the point. The point is, and then also when I moved to Chicago, that's when I started getting into cocaine. But that was really just a way to connect with the community that I was living in. I also smoked crack, but that was just once on my birthday. And I shot heroin for 3 years. But other than that, all right, maybe I had a little bit of a drug problem, you know. So just by the end, I like them hospice grade. All right, that's all I'm going to do. Thanks.
Thank you, Laura Hogg. Oh man, that set makes me want to vape some nicotine, just some very tame nicotine. No high from that. That's what I'm gonna do. No, thank you, Laura. Thank you for sharing that. Good to have you on. Our next comic is the from yeah, you're in, I forgot you're in Georgia now. Yeah, from Atlanta. Please welcome Josh DiDonato.
Hey. Yeah, not from Atlanta, but stationed in Atlanta. Station. Okay. Let's see here. I've been listening to a lot of Spotify. I'm kind of in a AC/DC phase. Anybody know that group? The rock and roll troupe? Yeah, they're pretty fun. It's got to be really tough to be Angus Young, the guitarist for AC/DC, because he came up with this costume like in 1973, the schoolboy outfit, like with the white shirt and the short pants, and which is great, you know, like an iconic costume. Everybody like kind of recognizes him and stuff, but like they're still together, and he has to wear that every night at the show, you know what I mean? Because they play like stadiums and arenas. And like, if he doesn't, then the back half of the arena will be like, oh, I guess that guy died. That's too bad. So he has to show like the 76-year-old knees that no one wants to. Okay. Let's see. All right. There's I don't know. I guess the war on terror must be over because we don't really hear about it anymore. So we won that. And don't think about domestic terror. That has nothing to do with that. So just put that out of your head. And of course, the war on drugs. I think we won that too, because you don't hear about that. Again, the opioid crisis, prescription drugs, just that has nothing to do with that. Just don't even think about that. So yeah, I think it's time we came up with a good new abstract war. So I've got some ideas. I think we should declare a war on violence. Wouldn't it be great if we could just bomb away all the violence in the world? Or how about a war on yuckiness? All right, I'm sensing a little resistance. If you're not with me in the war on yuckiness, yuckiness wins. And you know, and this one I do think we should do, and kind of based on how the culture has been going, I think it would be a good idea. I think we should declare a war on guns in this country. Tricky thing about the war on guns is we're gonna have to fight it with knives. So we will lose that one. But I think, you know, it'll be a noble cause. All right, let's see here. Well, this is kind of weird to talk about, but you know, people have their own thing they're into in the boudoir, and a lot of people are into baby talk. You know, which that's cool if that's your thing. It's not my scene, but I'm more into Nana talk. Like I like a nice grandmother role play, you know. If my partner can kind of get into that character, you know, and just be like, oh, I've found a coupon for some Folgers in my handbag. Like, oh, that gets me going, you know. Or you know, happy birthday, Timothy. Here's a crisp $5 bill you can take to the general store. You know. All right. Oh, that's what I call hard candy. You know, anything like that. You know. Oh, you've made me dampen my bloomers. You know. Would you like to climax on my bosom? You know, anything like that. So just putting that out there. All right, thanks. Good night.
Yeah, thank you, Josh DiDonato. I think we could fight that. We don't need knives. We got Patty's cat thing. We got Patty's cat poker, eye poker, and getting mowed down by guns. That's how it's gonna go down. Okay, guys, we're gonna keep rolling. We had 2 people join, so the list is growing a little bit, but I think we're almost at the halfway point. This is a pretty good night. Everyone's doing well. Our next meeting coming up, Karen Lesowicz.
Woo!
Wow, amazing pronunciation. It's pronounced lesbian witch, so really close. But no, that's the best spelling that it's ever been attempted. I'm sorry, Mark, that I don't have a more tribal name like you, Hornback. Lucky man, I'd probably be Jazz Hands. That would be my preferred name. Hey guys, my name is Karen. And yeah, no, it's been tough being a part of the most repressed group of 2020. Yeah. It's always okay, Karen, and never Karen. You okay? I recently got the second shot of my Pfizer vaccine, and it's supposed to hit young people harder than old people. And I was totally knocked on my ass, like fever, chills, aches, and I wasn't even mad because I was like, so you think I'm youthful? My God, come on, Fiz. I'll get 2 shots in you and show you a good time. I'm an actor. And as an on-camera actor, work can be limited and you usually have to take what you can get. Now, I'm embarrassed to admit this, and honestly, I just needed the money, but I once did a Christian film. And what if I had said Christian porno? I don't know. Thoughts and prayers, THOTS. But now I want to be clear, I am a practicing Catholic, okay? But not like those non-practicing Catholics, you know, the ones that only show up on Christmas. I like to call them deadbeat dad Catholics, because they only show up for Jesus's birthday, give some money, and then book it out of there before he gets, murdered. In Christianity, you're called to be of service to others and always go out of your way to be homophobic. Now, these merciful Christian values can get exploited on a film set and excuse actors being overworked and underpaid for their professional work. So for example, one day when I was on set, we were pushing on a 12-hour workday when I finally spoke up to the director and I said, hey, can we just please break for lunch? And he goes, today we will be filled with the fruitfulness of our Lord and Savior. And I said, what about being fed with the fruitfulness of Papa John's? You know, he's practically a God and he always delivers on time for me. Now, watching a Christian film is like eating off-brand of any of your favorite snacks, right? Like, anyone want some Oreovals? It's like they're all so predictable, right? Like, she was an orphan, born, and works a minimum wage job now and still manages to keep her faith and go to church despite having terminal cancer with 1 hour and 50 minutes to live, conveniently the length of the movie. He's never faced a hardship in his comfortable middle-class life, but is passionate about being an atheist. Have you tried praying about it? Coming to a predominantly white theater near you. Now, they try to make this particular Christian film I was in appeal to as many people as possible, right? They wanted to say it's a movie for everyone, except if you're not very Christian. But our distribution company called us and said the film wasn't Jesus-y enough, their words, and it wouldn't hit their target audience, safely assumed at this point to be Mormons. But the problem was we already shot the film, right? So what we had to do was a little thing called ADR or voiceover, and I had to re-record the lines from the movie and forcefully insert the name Jesus into the dialogue. So it ended up sounding like this. Hey, Mark, what are you and Jesus up to today? I'm gonna pound some nachos and Jesus at home later. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you, Karen. Lesbian Witch.
There you go. There you go. You got it.
This is great. I'm glad we're talking about religion because I'm really excited for our next comic. Real life Reverend Ron Irvin.
Yes, praise the Lord. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to Chicago's #1 after church comedy, Mike. Give it up for your host, Mark, one time. You all came here straight from service. I'm very happy to see all of you. No, so I've been out in New York for a few weeks now. It's been really good. Shout out to this weed pen because that's amazing. We've been doing a lot of comedy on the street. There's a lot of outdoor stuff going on, and I've started to honestly feel bad for the street, if I'm being real, because it's like bad. Like there'll be apartment buildings right there, and I'm like, I would rather have a screaming homeless person than comedy after coming home from like a work shift, like the worst day you've ever had, and you sit down, some 32-year-old guy is just like, Obama was eating pussy, or I don't know. I would fucking kill myself. You just overhear everything out here, and I just heard all the way from across the street the other day a guy on the phone say to somebody else, I love you, please stop doing drugs. And that kept me very entertained. Because I was like, wow, that's either a tragic situation or he's figured out how to call Jimi Hendrix in the past. Anyway. And now here we are. No, it's been great. They reopened the movie theaters out here. They reopened those on the 5th, which is nice. I'm so happy to get back to just doing comedy and then going straight to the movies and then never having sex ever and having that just be my life again. That's when I'm my most happy. This is totally true. One of my last movie going experiences before COVID hit was seeing the Sonic the Hedgehog film alone at 11 a.m. on a Sunday in downtown Chicago. So my vote counts just as much as yours. Next time you want to defend democracy so hard, I guess. But I go down there and it's like half empty. There's plenty of whole sections that you could have to yourself. So I get one, and then a lady comes in and sits directly next to me with her 2 young children throughout the whole movie. And I was just like, lady, I have drugs in my pocket and brain right now. You can't do this. Like if you are at a Sonic the Hedgehog screening at 11 a.m. on a Sunday by yourself and you're not on drugs, you're either a 6-year-old or you've never made eye contact with anybody in your entire life. And there is no in between. And then I swear to God, at one point she gets up and she goes to refill their popcorn and leaves the 2 children next to me, like completely alone for like 15 minutes. And I don't know if you've ever wanted to call Child Protective Services on yourself before. It's a very interesting feeling because I don't know what it was, but I was like, lady, you have 30 seconds to get back here. Or I am teaching these children how to vape. It's going to happen. Good old Sonic. Got to go fast. I go to the movies. I'm so excited to I would go to the movies like alone a lot, and people think that's weird. And I don't think that's weird because I think the only reason you would need somebody at the movies is if you're going to talk to them, right? I think that makes sense. And we all know what happens if you talk at the movie, right? Say it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That's right. I steal your credit card and fuck your dad. All right. Shut up during my 3 p.m. Wednesday viewing of Kingsman 2 because I've lost all control of my life. All right. My name is Ron Irvin. My specials on Pornhub. Give it up for your host. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. I think you just thought you played Dr. Robotnik like at the end of the movie. Like that makes more sense if you've seen the movie, but no. She's like, oh, real live actor from the movie. No, I was honestly just thinking today, like, because I haven't been to a movie. I haven't done a lot of things in a year, and I haven't been to a movie in a year. And I was just thinking about how weird it is that like we would pay a lot of money and like 300 people would get together to basically watch Netflix, like, you know, like watch Netflix. Like you have to do it in a group though. And I was thinking about like the best, like not the best, but the strangest, most crowded like movies I've ever been at, and people just losing it. And that, like, I look forward to that. I really want to go back to that. Like I want to travel back to 1999 and watch American Pie when everybody was in high school in it and like screaming and throwing shit, or Napoleon Dynamite or Super Troopers, any of those movies that aged poorly. They all aged poorly.
Yeah,
but
they're all hate crimes.
They're all hate crimes. They're all canceled already. They will never make the Criterion edition. They're not streaming anywhere. They won't let that happen. Okay, we're gonna go to our next comic. But I'm excited for movies, Ron. That's what I wanted to say. Our next comic is from both Australia and UK. Please welcome Kim Nash.
Yay, cool. Yeah, half the people in this room have seen me before. Some of them wish they hadn't seen me before. Whether you like it or not, start the timer. A couple of seconds late. Cool, great. Yes, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this sort of guy looks like the guy that masturbates to Queen. If you are thinking that, you are correct. In the words of Freddie Mercury, easy come, easy go. Maybe that's why my mum kicked me out of the house. Maybe. Obviously, the one song you have to masturbate to if you're going to masturbate to Queen is Bohemian Rhapsody. Am I right? No? Cool. Good. Just me. Just me. I also know what else you're thinking. Why the fuck is there a pirate flag in the background when he gets it fucking right? It's because I am a rock and roll reject, and that's the closest to rock and roll I'm ever going to get. Yeah. How did that rock and roll career go for you? They said. Oh, have a rock and roll career, they said. It'll all be fine, they said. Yep. Look where I am now, mother. Look where I fucking am now, doing Zoom gigs. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so back in school, I used to get a lot of nicknames. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what your school life was like, but I had two main nicknames when I was in school. The first one was Kim Kardashian. And according to them, I'm now getting divorced to Kanye, apparently. Give me the money. And the second nickname they gave me, which was the last one they gave me before I left school, was Dick Brain. Yeah. Little bit of a backstory. I used to be able to do a trick where I could do a Rubik's Cube behind my back. Yeah, not impressive at all. That's what I'm expecting. You know, anyone else here able to do a Rubik's Cube behind their back? No, of course not. Because you wouldn't waste your fucking time. Yep, that's 10 minutes I'm never going to get back. Well, there was one benefit to it. I got to throw the Rubik's Cube at the bullies. Let's just say 6 hours in the hospital waiting for the x-ray results was interesting. Very, very interesting. But no, the bullies called me Dick Brain because they thought I was gay. Yeah. You're laughing. I've been questioning it for the last 7 years. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. My rock and roll career is done. It's dead. Even the flags are fuck you. Why? Why can't you just work for me for once? Fucking dick. Anyway, I did a gig recently, and yeah, thanks for the 1 minute warning. Thank you. And recently I did a gig where someone was talking about Elf on a Shelf, and I'm like, I got two reactions in that. Number one is, it's not fucking Christmas, for fuck's sake. And second of all, you know, I hate those fuckers. I really do. I hate them. You know, I don't know about you guys. Have you ever had an Elf on a Shelf watching you while you're fucking someone? No, just me. Let me tell you, it fucks with your confidence. You know, it happened to me ages ago. And I'm there and I'm just looking in the corner and I'm like, stop fucking watching me. You're not helping. You don't even have a penis. How would you like it? just to give you just a warning, I've never given head to an elf on a shelf. On that note, I've been Kim Nash. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Kim Nash. Kim's the only person to flunk out of School of Rock, apparently, probably for all that masturbation to Queen. That's what I think.
Yep.
Yeah. We got a real special treat right now. Our next comic is the basis for Elf on a Shelf. He modeled for Elf on a Shelf. Please welcome Andrew Shanklin.
Whoa. Tim, you're saying dick brain head? I thought you guys called them gob jobs. Thank you, folks. Australian slang. All right. People are always telling me how factory farms are bad. They're like, Andrew, they're like the chickens, they're in cages, they're overfeeding them. They have giant breasts. It's like, okay, so you're making chickens really hot. What's the big deal? I feel like I'm being kink shamed. Hot chicks in cages. Let me tell you, it worked way better at the last mic. I don't jerk off. I have wet dreams. Don't jerk off, have wet dreams. That means I want to die the way I come, which is in my sleep. Folks, okay. My two biggest celebrity crushes, Ariana Grande and Saoirse Ronan. All right, Ariana Grande is Italian, Saoirse Ronan is Irish. So my ancestors would be very disappointed that all I can think about is mixing with people of lesser races. That's a joke about American immigration. Am I lagging or am I just bombing? I can never tell because sometimes I do really bad and I deserve it, and other times I'm just behind. I don't like Yo Mama jokes. As a kid, I hated Yo Mama jokes, which is stupid because they're just like not logically coherent at all. You know, my friends would be like, "Oh, Yo Mama was so fat, you need a forklift to have sex with her," and I'd be like, "Really, Kyle? You said you had sex with my mom, and I know that you cannot operate heavy machinery." Specifically says so on your ADHD medication. So, and my friend's like, "Andrew, don't do that. That's a HIPAA violation." And it's like, okay, sorry, my friends were precocious. One of my friends is going to get married in June, and I know that you're not supposed to wear white to a wedding. However, I spent a lot of money on a Saturday Night Fever costume, and I'm not returning it. Seems like a waste to only wear it on Halloween. All right. That didn't work 6 months ago or a year ago when I did it. I had a hard time meeting women when I was single because for me, putting myself out there was just reading Watchmen in a coffee shop. Just sitting and reading a graphic novel. It's like, of course, women aren't going to come up to me. They're intimidated by how smart I am. That I could decipher such a dense literary work. What was the other joke that I had written this week? I like stories about kid detectives. I think stories about kid detectives are fun. My favorite trope in stories about kid detectives is that their parents are police officers and they just solve the crimes for them. And it's like, wow, that says a lot about how bad the police are in America, that an 8-year-old could just do their job better. All right. That's more of a point than it is a joke. I really liked the Muppets growing up just because it was the first time I had ever seen anyone that looked like me represented on TV. You know, I was like, this Beaker guy, he's going somewhere, folks. Okay. Cool. I was watching a documentary on Netflix recently. It was about a guy from America who converted to Islam and joined ISIS. And you could say what you will about that action, but the dedication is impressive. It is inspiring that someone would go so far to achieve their dreams, you know. It's like, that's I guess if someone's like, Andrew, why do you keep doing comedy? Because of ISIS, you know, touched and inspired. Well, I think this was my fault that I didn't do well, so I won't blame you all. I will be here next week. Bye.
Hey, Andrew Shanklin. Yeah, no audio problems this week. Just want to point out it was all you.
Yep. Yeah,
all
just not good.
just not as good as expected. Also, I did light you 30 seconds late because I scrolled through the list multiple times looking for your name, and you're still John McCombs. And that
that's my fuck off.
It's a little sneaky thing. He gets an extra 30 seconds every week for it. So keep doing it. Not
Yep.
Our next comedian, please welcome Ian Ryan Smith, Too Old to Dance.
Thank you. It's my birthday today.
What?
It's something I would say if it was 2 days ago. So I'm old now. I'm not in my prime anymore. Because I'm 24 now, and that's very easily divisible by a lot of numbers. Unlike 23, which is a prime number. Do you get it? I'm out of my prime now. Isn't that insane? Isn't that insane? I won't be in my prime again until I'm 29. I'll have to pay for my own health insurance by then. Unless, of course, we get health care sometime in the next. You know, it's really nice to fantasize about America where things go right. You know, that's a nice world to live in. Like, just think about an America where things are going just great. Nobody's killing nobody. Like, everybody has money. We actually have a problem with people having too much money. They start fighting each other. I don't know, but it's for sport instead of for blood. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm just gonna tell some jokes. So I'm all about separating art from the artist and whatnot. You know, I like enjoying music made by problematic composers, you know, because the music is good. However, I will say the composer being problematic does kind of ruin it a little bit. Yeah, because you get, I mean, example, Dr. Seuss, the Lorax. I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. Be nice to Mother Earth or I'll break your fucking knees. Oh, and Dr. Seuss is racist. I forgot for a second. I mean, the book is still good, but Hector Berlioz, this guy, you guys probably don't know about him, but I went to college, so I know about this guy. He wrote a symphony called Symphony Fantastique. I know, right? Very creative. And he won a medal for it. And he got to live in Rome for a year and have everything paid for him while he wrote more music. And it's a pretty good symphony. This guy was a big time incel. Like he had restraining orders out against him from this one Irish actress. Like he was a no good creep, but very influential in music, but also an incel. Then there's Idris Elba, the world's sexiest man, Idris Elba. You know, he's great. I love a lot of stuff that he's in. He was in Cats. He was in Cats, you guys. Still, he's good. He's good, but you know, it's just always in the back of your head that Idris Elba was in Cats. He was in Cats. All right, that's all I got for you. Bye.
Yeah, I thank you, Ian Ryan Smith. I have very strong opinions about Dr. Seuss right now. I think if I die, my family should definitely have every right to delete any video of me from this open mic that's online. Like, and that's all they're doing. It's just his estate cleaning up shop after he died. I think, yeah, if I die, my wife should definitely be able to go and take down all the YouTube videos like that. Like, no judgment for that. Wouldn't Would it be funny if Dr. Seuss like wasn't canceled for being racist, but it was like we found out that like he was like mentally deficient and like he was really trying hard to write well. Like those weren't meant to be funny, lighthearted things. He was trying to express himself. It was a struggle. Stop laughing at him. He wants to know what Horton heard. Okay, we're gonna keep going.
The N-word? What is, I didn't
Horton hears the N-word.
yeah, I don't know what he said. Like I was like, which book is racist? Are they all racist?
It's the less popular ones among certain people and the more popular ones among other people, basically. So if you don't know which ones, you're in the previous group, the former group.
Okay.
Our next, so after this, during the fastest minute, we'll be ringing racist passages from Dr. Seuss. No. Coming up, Ying Vigilant.
Woo! Yes. Hi, Mark. Happy to be back. Yeah. Talk about Dr. Seuss. I want to say I've never liked it. To be honest, when my daughter she is my first baby, I bought the whole set of Dr. Seuss just because it's popular. Right? Everybody recommend it. But I'm just, what is the point? It's almost every single book. It's just repeating very simple sentences. And to me, it don't mean nothing. Cat in the hat, cat in the hat, cat in the hat. They're like one sentence, the whole page, 10 times. So it's like, why is that good? You turn the next page, they're different sentence, repeat 10 times. Why is that good? You know what I'm saying? So now they're banned, but it's a different book, right? It's like racist or whatever. I'm saying, okay, finally. I just feel happy because I keep it secret. I don't want people to know I don't like Dr. Seuss. Now I'm just happy. Seems like the people out there don't like his book. Another secret, I've never liked Harry Potter. I tried very hard. Oh my God, I tried so hard just to read the first 100 page. I don't know why. I just, but I do like J.K. Rowling, the writer. I write a book about her life. It's like, well, that's fantastic. Maybe it's English something. No, I just have to be honest. Now I think maybe you guys are just like repeating sentences or something. Okay, so that is not a joke. Back to my joke. Okay. Back to the joke. So I am a single mother, right? Everybody already know, which means I'm single lady too. But my bed is very busy. Okay, I got king size bed. It's not what you think. Okay, I don't have a dick in and out of my bed. No, what I'm talking about, my bed is busy. Is all the pillows. I have tons of pillows, and my clothes are spread around my bed. I think that's the pillow. I like to have them just can tuck in different areas of my body when I sleep. So I really feel like I'm not lonely. I was not alone. That's how I deal with singlehood. Very effective people. But one thing though, I don't like if my friend visit me to go to my bedroom. Like, don't go in there, because I don't want other people's opinion about me to make me feel bad. If they think my bed is messy, it's like, that's not my problem. I'm very happy with my bed, very spiritual when I'm looking at it, okay? But when I visit my friend's house, take a look at their bedroom, right? Like, they look like hotel rooms. Clean. I don't like it. I don't like it, guys, okay? So when I watched that TV show Fresh Off the Boat, I was like, I don't like that either. I'm not getting off no boat. I have to get on a ship to stay in this country. I'm talking about relationship. Yeah, that's what I did when I was doing the graduate study. I was dating a guy there. So I'll tell you, within 1 year time, this is a green card ship thing. It's not easy, okay? Within 1 year, I got pregnant. I get married. I defend my thesis. I graduate. I had a baby. 5 things. Every single thing is a milestone if it's a white girl doing it. Okay. I did it all in 1 year. I call it immigrant speed, guys. That's my green card shift. How efficient that is. So that's my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ying Visual. One more time for Ying, everybody. Hey, we just got 4 more comics in the fastest minute, so this is gonna be really exciting. Let's keep rolling through. Let's do this. Next comic, Sean Cuthand.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hey, I'm coming to you from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, up in Canada. I'm an Indigenous man, and up here, you know, I'm one of the Queen's good Indians, you know, because I do my taxes on simple tax. Now that's colonization for you. But man, it got like to -50 here like a couple weeks ago, and like it got so cold, like I couldn't leave my condoms in my glove box anymore, you know? Like I had to keep my condoms on me at all times because nobody likes frosted tips, am I right? But so like everyone's all about these HelloFresh and like these meal packages that they get. But like, do you know how much like preservatives they pack into those things? Like my buddy, he went on a trip for 3 weeks and he left some sauce in the fridge. He came back, there was no mold. The sauce ended up renewing the subscription for like 3 more months. Like, now that's self-preservation. But man, I saw a video of a porch pirate breaking their ankle, and I was like, man, that sure is proof that pirates don't do well on land, you know? But man, I live in a basement suite, and my buddy owns the house, and sometimes like I can't escape this guy, you know? Like one time I came home like later at night and I had some tacos. I was about to sit down. My living room is underneath his bedroom. So I'm like sitting down and I'm about to eat some tacos when all of a sudden I just hear him going to town on his taco up there. All this moaning and everything. So I go to my room. I'm just annoyed that I have to eat tacos in bed now. And then all of a sudden on the other side of my wall, I hear drilling. Like all of a sudden he's like doing a project at midnight. Like he's Tim the Toolman Taylor all of a sudden. Like he went from drilling his woman to drilling holes on the other side of my wall. He went from being like, to Yeah, that's a 90s sitcom reference. I don't know if I should keep it. But so I got like these really dry hands lately, and they're so dry and like cracked up that like my friends and coworkers, they're all noticing and they're giving me all these like home remedies. And one of my friends was like, you know what you need to do is you need to lather your hands in lotion and sleep with rubber gloves on. And I just was like, man, like you don't understand. Like I can't go back to that. Like when I was a baby, they had to put mittens on my hands when I slept that night because I would scratch my face as a little baby. So then, yeah, no one wants to talk about that because they don't realize that babies get postpartum depression too. Like I don't want to be the poster boy for that shit. But I guess I'll end on this. I hate to admit it though, but lately I don't stop for white people at crosswalks anymore. You know, like, I just can't do it. Like, the audacity to think that those two white lines can protect you. Well, you got another thing coming. Me, I'm coming in my Monte Carlo. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sean Cuthand. Nice stuff. That's very cold up there. Keep your condoms warm, please. be considerate. We got 3 comics done in the fastest minute. This is gonna be awesome. Our next comic, Skylar Holzman.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. I'm feeling pretty good. Someone who's not feeling great right now is Tiger Woods. He got in a pretty bad car accident last week. And I think we can all agree it was just not his best drive.
Jesus.
So yeah. I'm at college right now. I'm a college student. I'm taking a poetry class, and my professor asked me to write a haiku. So I'll just share a quick one that I wrote for her and handed in to her. My teacher told me, no limits to poetry, financially. It did fine. I used to play baseball. And yeah, I want to play professional baseball. And a lot of my friends were really supportive of me. They were always like, Skylar, dude, like you can do anything else, which is really nice of them. And I think personally, the reason I didn't make it in professional baseball or have a shot at all was because I just didn't have like the right role models. Like, unfortunately, my dad never yelled like, fuck you, you suck during games. So I don't really feel like I ever had that support. And, you know, people say, a lot of people, because I'm such like a baseball fanatic, and people tell me a lot of the time that baseball is just such a boring sport. And I have to disagree, because if you look closely, we're not all just kind of standing there on the field. You know what I mean? It's like, it's much more nuanced. Like some of us are also sitting on the bench. So I don't know, a lot of variance. I think personally, I'm a pretty fun person, which is what all fun people say about themselves. And I love doing Australian accents. But I specifically only imitate Australians that have been brought up by American parents. So it makes it a lot easier for me. You know, something I found really interesting is a lot of people, when they're doing a British accent, they'll always be like, hello, governor, right? Like that's the classist thing. They'll be like, hello, governor, when they're doing British. I've been to London, and a weird thing is that the majority of the people there are not governors. And in fact, most people there don't even hold public office. So I have no clue how that came about. I do catch a lot of flack from my friends because I say things like milk instead of milk, which is completely true. And it honestly feels like milk is just more effort to say than milk. But the weird thing is, like, it doesn't really bleed over into other things I say. Like, I don't say like, damn, that woman is so hot. Like, she's such a MILF. You know what I mean? So, obviously, you know, most people have already talked about Dr. Seuss, but I just have to give my take on it. You know, everyone's saying he's like really racist, but he wrote Green Eggs and Ham. So I honestly, just for the longest time, thought he was colorblind, for whatever reason. And I'm assuming it slipped past his editors, because I'm assuming they were also colorblind as well. But I got to be honest, like, how hard can it actually be to write a children's book? Like, you literally just pick something that a kid likes and just make them the protagonist. You could be like, Bib saves Philadelphia from domestic terrorist. You know what I mean? Or you could be like, pacifier collects stimulus check from the government. Literally anything you want. All right. A couple more things. I did hear an ad for the state of Ohio this past week. And that actually officially makes them the DeVry University of U.S. states, which is very cool. Let's see. Do I have any other time? You know what? I'll end with that. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Skylar. They're not DeVry because people better themselves at DeVry University, and that does not happen. All right. Our next comic. He was a fan of I think it's been a while since he popped in, but when we first started doing these online things, he was popping in more frequently. Please welcome back Gregory Bartusiak.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, no, so I just got off of a Zoom actual virtual show that I just did. And actually, yeah, no, Mark, you guys actually prepared me, because I literally did a fun simulation one time, and that's it. And that prepared me for the show. So this is my third Zoom show. Thanks for you know, having me. You know, the pandemic really prepared me for this kind of stuff. I'll just say that much. You know, I don't know. I've been watching it because I got the NBA All-Star game on the side over here, and it just reminded me of the time that like I was actually a prospect in the NBA draft because I'm a 6'6" guy. You know, I'm very tall. I was actually a prospect in the NBA draft, and it was pretty cool. But I was actually cut from the draft because of performance-enhancing drugs at the time. So I went home and told my girlfriend that maybe using Viagra was a bad idea. Performance enhancing drugs. Man, okay, well, yeah, these Zoom shows aren't as fucking easy. But no, so it just this past year, you know, Kobe Bryant actually passed away, right? You know, and this past year, the NBA All-Star team, MVP trophy was named after him, and he was actually eligible for the Hall of Fame for the first time ever. Him, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, they were first-class Hall of Famers at that this past year. The ballot process was a little bit different though, because normally people like they'll have the writers come into a room, write down the names of who they think is going to actually be, you know, Hall of Fame and whatever, put them into a ballot box. This last year was actually a little bit different because they wrote their names on a sheet of paper, and instead of putting it into that box, they crumpled it up, shot it in, and yelled Kobe. A little bit different. Let's see. I don't know. Well, Cops got canceled last year, right? After 33 seasons, right? Looks like somebody finally came for those bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Is everyone fucking muted right now? What's going on? I don't know. I just came here to just tell some old jokes. I did this. Well, I did a Polish show. That's what the theme of the show was earlier tonight, and reminded me because like earlier this past week, I was at an open mic, and you know, it was about closing time. Comics were hanging out, smoking outside, and I just thought to myself, okay, hey, I'll be right back. I got to close out. And they're looking at me like, wait, like we're all just hanging out here. Like what don't like use your white privilege, right? You know, like just hang out here. Don't you use that? I said, no, that's Polish shame. Like we make sure that everyone's fucking satisfied. Like we go in, we just like, hey, what else can we do for you? You want me to like clean some dishes or something? Like, you know, it's just that Polish shame of like wanting to keep everyone satisfied. I don't know. I got nothing. I really have nothing. I just wanted to come and like enjoy you guys telling some jokes. Let's see. Let's see. I was actually, I'll tell you this one because I was a high school athlete. If you guys don't know about this, right? I was a baseball pitcher for my team, and we actually did a pretty good job. We got the state championships. And I was actually starting pitcher for that game. So I'm on the mound. I'm not having a great game. Coach gives me a mound visit in like the middle of the second inning. He's like, Bartusiak, what are you doing? You're like, you're throwing outside of the box. You're giving up a couple of home runs. He just walked a couple of people. You know what you got to do? You got to throw a little cheese on that. All right. No one knows that joke, but I'm getting out of here. That's all I wanted to do. That's for you, Mark.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, what's that shirt? Maybe everyone thought that shirt might be very like Proud Boysy or some sort of
No, this is a shirt for my radio station actually, because we're Polish American mix, so it's the American flag but with Polish colors.
It's like a blood-stained flag or something. I was concerned.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll bring that up to that
on January 6th. Basically, we were trying to figure that out.
I'll bring that up to my manager. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Good to see you, Greg. I remember. So just this last week, someone at my work went and met in the office with his boss, and they had never met, and he had worked there for a year. And afterwards, I was like, "Oh, how did that go?" And he's like, "He didn't tell me how tall he was. He was 6." He goes, Mark at work, Mark Nelson is 6'8", and he's like, "I didn't know that until I met him in person." And I'm like, "No way!" I'm like, "I know a tall guy, and his voice is deep because the other guys." The tall guy at work, his voice was not that deep, so I still don't.
Yeah.
I don't believe it till I see it because everyone should sound like Greg if you're over 6'6" or. You gotta have Greg. Greg's had a good radio voice, a good Polish radio voice. I love it.
Yeah.
We got one more comic on the fastest minute. Stick around and do a speed round at the end after our next performer. completes their set. Sammy Boss.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Thank you for letting me say something. I'm not a comic. It's just that I'm married. I have no one to talk to. So I know some people were talking about religion. My wife is a Christian and I'm a Buddhist. And so we have one daughter. So we are both trying to convert her. It's like UPS and FedEx fighting over one account. And I'm like, her name is Pearl. I'm like, Pearl, Christianity is like Facebook. People are pretending to have a nice time, but are they really? Whereas Islam is more like Twitter. You speak less, you follow more. Whereas Buddhism is like Instagram. No words, only pretty pictures. Ron, I hope you don't get offended. I know you're talking about Christianity, but it's all good. I work in cyber security. And sometimes I try this in the evening. So you can say I do security in the daytime and insecurity in the nighttime. I just want to share a tip with you guys, dude. This is really happening with me, and I want to encourage all of you to try this, okay? So I chant this Buddhist phrase, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and we were told that someone set rejection goals for yourself. Please, all of you set rejection goals. It's super liberating. Like, you get rejected, you get closer to your goal. If you don't get rejected, you still win. It's awesome. Like, I am telling my clients, I'm giving them huge, giant proposals. Before I used to hesitate, and now they're like taking it. Like, I don't know, it's weird things are happening. But all in all, I'm supposed to be a Buddhist and encourage people, but actually I think I bring out the worst in people. I think even if the Buddha saw me, he would have said, what's wrong with you, motherfucker? I have more blocked contacts on my phone than actual phone numbers. Anyone else? I don't know. I get upset at little things. I think I'm becoming a grumpy old man very fast. When you call customer support, they'll say, please listen carefully because our menu options have changed. That is so pretentious. I have to forget all the old menu options that you told me. I know some people complain that, oh, I'm a late bloomer. I will take late bloomer any day. I'm a no bloomer. I never bloomed at all. What else? I get also upset at voicemail instructions when they give you like 1 minute on how to leave a voicemail. And then at the end, press 1 if you're satisfied, press 2 if you want to re-record, press 3 if you want to send it on a high priority. Satisfied, I'm leaving a fucking voicemail. Have you ever left a voicemail and felt, okay, I am satisfied? Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. I'm a married man and there's no happy ending.
Yeah. Thank you, Sammy Boss. Good job, Sammy. Nice to have you here. I was going to start the fastest minute, but we just had a late joiner, a late bloomer themselves.
No.
Yeah, it's a very late bloomer. We're still waiting for it. No, I'm just kidding. Adam Kozlow.
Hello. Oh man, guys. Hang on. Let me put the background now that I've been using for this joke since I can't wear cargo shorts on stage right now. Guys, if you can't tell by the pro wrestler I have as my background, I am single. I've been single for so long. I actually lost track of how long it's been since I gave up. I still remember the moment I gave up. I was watching an old episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse, and I said out loud to myself, I wish my chair could hug me. And that is an unsafe level of lonely. Like, if any of you ever thought about moving back home just so somebody will find you when you die, because if I don't wake up tomorrow, you're not hearing about it until they find bed bugs in the apartment next to mine and have to search my unit. I think one of my big problems is that I don't pick up on hints from women. Like, if a woman showed up to my apartment naked, my first response would be, what, do you need to borrow a hoodie or something? I can see that you're cold. Like, there was one night in college, after a party, I am standing with a woman in her bedroom, and she says, do you want to stay here tonight? And I said, no, I think I can make it home okay. Yeah, that's what I love about that is, like, when I first started setting this up, there's always people who are like, oh, another guy who thinks every woman wants to sleep with him. And then I tell that story, and their faces suddenly switch to, oh, no, he's just a moron. Okay. So, like, I said I could make it home, and she says, are you sure? Which is a question that should change your mind every time you hear it. Like, if you go out to lunch and order a tuna melt, and the server says, are you sure about that? Pick that menu back up. You have made a mistake. But at no point did I ever think this woman wanted to have sex with me. All I could think was that I was too tall to sleep on her couch. Like, what's real fucked up is that college let me graduate after this. I recently found out that the gunfight at the OK Corral was only 30 seconds, which means there is a long history of men doing something for 30 seconds and hoping it was okay. I'm a sports fan, which is the dumbest fucking thing you could be. Like, my day was ruined earlier because somebody dropped a ball wearing a shirt I like. And I'm a Detroit sports fan, but I live in Chicago. So people will say vicious things to me just for wearing a hat. Like, I was walking to the grocery store today and some guy pointed at me and shouted, Detroit's fucking bankrupt. And then he asked me to buy a candy bar for his basketball team. I feel like somewhere out there is somebody who knows nothing about sports. He just knows that my hat has a D on it and we live in a C town. We do dumb things as sports fans. Like, we'll go to a game and chant defense, defense, as if the players hadn't thought of that. If I have kids, I'll let them smoke weed, but I will be damned if it defines their personality. Like, you can buy a dime sack, but the moment you buy a hacky sack, you are fucking grounded. Okay. If your bong is shaped like anything other than a bong, you have watched your last Seth Rogen movie. And I just hate hearing about 420, right? Like, you know, the story behind 420, that was the time that a bunch of high school kids would smoke weed at their school. But school ends at 3:30. What the fuck were those nerds still doing there? Smoking weed at your school is only rebellious when you have to be there. But
yeah, thank you, Adam Quaslow, with the very abrupt bye at the end that always throws me off. Guys, we're gonna do it. We're gonna start the Fast Minute Comedy. This is how we do it. Everybody gets to go up one more time. We're gonna start a lot. The first 6 people left, but then the second half is pretty much still here, minus 1 or 2 people. So heads up, we're going to start with Karen and then Ron, and then you'll get bounced around. If you haven't been here, it's a 1-minute speed round. If you don't want to do it, let me know. Just wave me off. But I time you 1 minute. I don't give you the time. At 1 minute, I just go to the next person in the list. No introductions needed. And we get a chant going. I think another comic might be joining later, but I'll just add them to the end to do a set. But please welcome your first comic for the fastest minute tonight. Karen Lesowitz, go.
Okay, I'm gonna do anything. Oh wow. Okay, well, on top of the Catholic stuff, My mom, who's very, very Catholic, they're watching Mass downstairs right now, just in case anyone's wondering. She can't slut shame me anymore. I used to really test the boundaries with what I was going to wear to Mass. But now, instead of just saying like, go change or like, take that poncho thing looking off, she'll just be like, aren't you going to be cold? Like, that's her thing. She's just, I don't know, it's a little chilly in there. Just like, aren't you going to be cold? And my high school, actually, did you guys hear this? They would keep the high schools cold so that girls would wear enough clothing, which I think is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing to do, right? Because then my nips are out. Like, how? I don't get it. I don't get what they're trying to, I do get what they're trying to do. And I don't hate it. But yeah, I'm a runner and I have a bunch. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Go. You only get a minute. Go.
Oh,
All
sorry.
right.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Praise
Oh,
the
well,
Lord.
Yes, praise the Lord. Thank you all so much for being here. Praise the Lord right after service. Praise the Lord. No, I'm trying to think. The other day, this homeless dude walked up to me in the middle of Manhattan, and I thought he was going to ask me for money or change, and he didn't. He did, however, scream a poem at me. And I was like, all right, so what? He's going to ask for $1 afterwards? And then no, he didn't. He just walked away. Guys, I think I might have met the last true living artist in New York City. That or a guy who just doesn't know that open mics exist and he's furious about it. Go.
What? That was it?
Yeah, that's a fucking minute.
Oh, yeah. Go. Ian Ryan.
Yeah.
Go.
So Janet Yellen, esteemed Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, says that Bitcoin is used primarily for illegal transactions. I don't know how I'm supposed to tell her that my drug dealer only accepts cash. Drug dealer's gonna be awful mad when he sees just a shitty flash drive instead of like 20s. He can't go to the strip club with a flash drive. Buy some crypto.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Go.
Okay, so I'm a single mother, right? Last year during the pandemic, I was quarantined with my 17-year-old son. You know what they say about the 17, 18-year-old, right? They're at their sexual peak. You know, I am at my peak, be honest with you. So all of a sudden we had two people at their peak running around the house. You know, but I can't hit on him. You know what I'm saying? Very frustrating. You know, never noticed before that he was actually very handsome and cute guy. Until now, we're locking together 24/7. Gosh, so that's my time, I guess.
Yeah.
Now this year he's gonna be 18, so things gonna be different.
Somebody make sure Tristan isn't having a heart attack.
Okay. Sean cut hand.
All right. So I like to go to metal shows, like heavy metal. And I think like going to heavy metal shows kind of it gives you like the same feeling of being in an abusive relationship. Because, when you get to the show, everyone's just smashing into each other and it's all rough and you're intimidated. And then the vocalist, he's like, hey, if someone falls down, pick them up. And you're just like, oh man, right on. I feel safe here. And then all of a sudden near the end of the show, the vocalist is just like, all right, split this place down the middle. We're going to proceed with the wall of death. And you're just like, I thought it was safe. Thanks.
Yeah, I forgot where I am. Okay, sorry. This is Skylar Holzman. Go.
Go.
So a Tom Brady rookie card recently just sold for $1.32 million. But actually the price was like adjusted for inflation, unlike most of his footballs. That's a football joke. This is another football joke. The Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield, he recently claimed to have seen a UFO, which is interesting because a bunch of aliens have recently been claiming for the last few years that the Browns would win a Super Bowl. And Peacock has a streaming service from NBC, and their slogan is like "Can't Not Watch." And I thought that was really unnecessary, but then I realized you need the "can't not" because if you don't have them, then it's just watch. And it'd be really weird to hear like all new episodes streaming on Peacock. Watch. That'll be my time. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesday left. Let's go to Sammy Boss. Go.
Go.
Have you seen those guys who double click their cars? Like their car's doors are shut and they step away and they click it again. And before they enter the mall, they click it again. Like it drives me nuts. Dude, the door's not going to get tighter. Stop clicking. Just me. I get bothered by sounds. I live in LA and there's a train station like 2 miles away. And at 12 o'clock, there are 4 honks. My question is, by the 3rd honk, everyone is fucking away. Who is the 4th honk meant for? Maybe that guy wanted to be an actor and now he's playing the role of an asshole. All right.
Hey, next, I think we're at Adam Quaslow. Go.
You guys know Casper the Friendly Ghost? Big
No.
children's character. Fuck off, Ron. You guys know Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of years ago, the company that makes Casper the Friendly Ghost realized that it's kind of fucked up that their big character is a dead kid. So they announced that Casper was born a ghost. And I feel a lot better knowing that he was just a miscarriage, you know? Like I was all worried that there was some family out there mourning the loss of their friendly son. Turns out they never even met him. But
Yeah. Go.
Yeah. Go.
You can do a set now. Go. Yeah.
Oh, like I feel we're doing the full set. I might do it. Give it up for Mark for hosting. Give it up for Mark for hosting this whole thing. And sorry I came hella late. I walked 5 miles and that's why I came to the mic late. Alrighty. Fuck, I forgot the thing I wanted to say immediately. I think okay, here's like I used to have a writing partner. Like way back in the day, I used to have a writing partner for sketches. And for the story, you need to know that he was white. And one day he confessed something to me. He went down like to his childhood home, like as an adult one day, and he went looking around in his attic. One day he found a children's book that his family had written. The children's book was about the family horse. This is a real thing. They made a children's book like in dedication of their horse. It wasn't like a published book or anything. It was just like this family loves this horse. We got to celebrate this horse. Like I said, my friend is white. Another thing you got to know: this horse is black. It happened to be black. It was just like a chic black, sleek black horse. And the children's book was about Nigger the horse. That's the actual truth. They named the horse Nigger, and that's this is a children's book that this family made to share with each other. This is a real thing that exists, and it's very weird to have a white person tell you this because he can't even say the word. He couldn't say what they call it, the horse. He just had to like mime the N-word as he told me about Nigger the horse. It's an incredible situation to hear this for the first time. But also like when I think of the mentality, like he didn't tell me any more about it because he's just like, that was the weird discovery. I put it back in the trunk. I left the attic. That was it. But here's the thing though, like the idea that they made a children's book in my mind means that they were planning on publishing that like somewhere. Like it wasn't going to be just a family heirloom that was meant to be like out to the world. Like it was going to be like Nigger the horse, like in the lessons he could teach children. And I guess I just want to get into the mentality of a family who's like, nobody's taking this book. We shopped it to all the best publishing houses. We went to, we went to Random House. We went to Penguin Publishing. Nobody's taking our book about Nigger the horse. What did we do wrong? It's just like Harry Potter. Like it's the same thing. Which actually, at least like Harry Potter waited to be horrible after the book was published, as opposed to making it horrible during the moment. I don't know. That's it for me. Give it up for Mark for hosting. Sorry to ruin your night with Nigger the horse.
Yeah. I think he's gonna get us kicked off of every stream.
Oh God, I didn't even think about. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
I like that. I imagine that years later the family saw like the Mr. Ed show and just were like, oh, Mr. Ed, we should have gone with something like that. Like
Hey, they changed with the times. Now he's my black friend, the horse.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you everybody for coming out. A lot of new faces, a lot of old faces. Keep it up. We'll be doing this online until we're all vaccinated, and then we're not giving each other COVID to not drink beer in the bar. Go to the bar and drink beer, but I'm not doing the open mic because nobody drinks at the open mic.